For our first league today, we've got a pretty cool deck. This is Dimir Necro-DOMINANT that Bokk ran to a top 16 finish in the most recent modern RCQ qualifier. RCQ on Magic Online had like 500 and something people. Insanely big event. So we're going to try it out in the league real quick. The idea here being you're a Necro-Dominance deck. You've got the ability to use Necro-Dominance as like your primary draw engine. Cards like Shieldred to take advantage, gaining you back life, March of Wretched Sorrow, Soul Spike. Really interactive, basically a mid-range deck with the ability to refill later on. We've got Psychic Frog and Quantum Riddler as a little bit of our extra mid-range threats, pressure, card draw. We've got Orcish Bowmaster, Boggart Trawler, a little extra interaction. In the sideboard, 2 copies of Engineered Explosives, Ashiok Dreamrender, 2 Damping Sphere, Surgical, 3rd Force of Despair with the 2 in the main, 3 Consigned to Memory, 4 Dauthi Voidwalker, and a Fatal Push. So I will say in preparation for this, I did read the peer-reviewed Necro-Dominance guide. If you haven't seen that, you can head on over to the Necro-Dominance Discord, or if you're on Reddit, you can go find Skill Issues posts about this free modern guides. And I think you have to go back to like September for the last update on it. But the guide is completely free, and it's like a 14-page guide on Necro-Dominance. So read it through. Hopefully it'll help us make a few of our decisions here and there, and we'll see how it goes. I think I might still be in a league. We can just drop this. I didn't record the last matchup anyway. Drop. Look at that. Your Necro. Join. You're one of the Necro truthers from the Discord. Well, you may judge my plays very harshly. I will be most understanding. I asked Bokk a few questions earlier, and so we'll see if I can put any of this knowledge to use, or if I'm just going to punt my way through a lot of these matches. Thanks for picking this up. The deck destroyed me in the super qualifier. I got tagged several times by people saying to try this out or give it a shot. I will judge silently and report all findings to Nassif. Respect. I'll take that. But you don't have to be too silent. Okay, so this is a pretty good just mid-range hand. I know one of the strengths of Necro-Dominance is supposed to be that you don't have to like aggressively mulligan for Necro. Now, I'm sure you can mulligan better now that you have cards like Quantum Riddler as a potential avenue. But in the blind, game 1, Thoughtseize into Frog is just like a really good mid-range start. I do have a stop on my instep. I took note of that. It was absolutely in the guide to make sure you have a stop on your own instep, or it'll automatically just pass you through to discard. Opponent shocks in a Steam Vents and passes. Okay, with double Thoughtseize, I want to save a little bit of life, so I think I'm going to get a basic Swamp here instead of shocking in one of these Watery Graves. Could also play around Blood Moon if they happen to be that. Area's a little off. Got you. Consult the star charts, prismatic ending, consigned to memory, ephemerate. So Quantum Riddler is definitely the only card in hand that does anything. So we're going to get rid of that, pass it back to them. Mountain down, draw step. Okay, so we have options. Option number one is just play out a frog and go from there. They do have a prismatic ending, but they currently don't have any white mana. Option number two is Thoughtseize a second time and grab a Surveil land, which I don't hate. Option number three is pass with Bowmasters up. Doesn't really do a whole lot into their current hand. I guess if we slam Frog, we do kind of force them to get a white source off of this Consult the Star Charts. And if they're using that just to get a white source, then it's not the end of the world. Next turn we can Thoughtseize plus second Frog. Pass it back. Glad you're playing this. Very excited about the list, but sadly don't have time to learn it before the RC. Hope you'll crush a bunch of Jeskai Blink. So I will say this is the very first time that I have played a Necro-Dominance deck. So I am not guaranteeing any sort of results or saying this is going to be completely clean and flawless. This deck is going to get tricky with Necro and how many cards to draw. So that was one of the really cool things that the Necro guide went over, was like giving you an idea of how many cards to draw in what situations, and especially different matchups, like why you're drawing a certain amount. Like, for example, against Amulet Titan, your life total doesn't matter so much, so you're drawing a lot to try to find, what's it called? Force of Despair. But then against like some of the more fair decks, if you don't have a soul spike, you're oftentimes just drawing up to 5. If you do have a soul spike, you're drawing up to 8 to be able to discard 2 to the soul spike, down to 5. Just like trying to set up having 5 cards in your hand at the end of the turn. All right, so we have another Consult the Star Charts. Consign, ephemerate. I'm going to be little damagey here so I can save the ability to possibly get a Surveil land with this Polluted Delta. What did we find? We found a Quantum Riddler off the top. Yikes. That is a pretty good one for our opponent. So we can go land, discard Trawler, warp Riddler. Not going to be able to attack through this Quantum Riddler regardless here, which kind of sucks. Yeah, because of the ephemerate they have in hand and the consign, even if I do get this frog up to a 4 or 5, I can't Bowmaster ping the Riddler because they can just blink it out, or I guess we can see if they want to consign my Riddler trigger. Do not. March of Wretched Sorrow. And unfortunately, we drew our Undercity sewers, which kind of sucks. I could march for... I think we just have to pass. Opponent top decking this Quantum Riddler was brutal for us. They could ephemerate in response to this. They like fizzle this ephemerate, but they would get to resolve one unless they have a removal spell for the Bowmasters. I have an updated blue-black frog list. Have an FNM tomorrow, and I trust you more than myself for this. Over on Moxfield, I've got like the last list that I kind of played. Let's see. Kind of like that is about the most recent. March of Otherworldly Light onto my Bowmasters. Yeah. You just won a game with Splinter Twin. Ask me anything. That's cool. That's also cool. I can sign this one. Yeah, can't really do much here. Basically just have to hope that they don't have a Solitude. This is definitely one of the games that I would love to have access to the actual card Necro-DOMINANT here. Instead of trying to play the fair game. That being said, most blink lists are only on 2 ephemerate. So I'm hoping that all their ephemerates are gone and we can use this Fell the Profane off the top to get rid of the Riddler. Off my token, sure. All right, deck. Need this to work. Please don't be the one blink player on 3 ephemerate. Nice. They don't currently have an arena. That's also cool. Force of Despair. So that can kill Flage after it comes back. We have Ophelia. We'll see what they do. If they do something that involves not getting back Flage, I might march the Ophelia. If they do get back Flage, then I probably just have to force it. Looks like Quantum Riddler. Okay, so Quantum Riddler trigger on the stack. I'm gonna Force of Despair. So that they only draw 1 off of this instead of 2. Alright, let's cast... if I hit Necro... Do I intend to play Necro? Like Shieldred would be really good to play here. I'm just going for Riddler. Soul Spike, Necro. Okay. I don't think I'm discarding. I think I'm just dealing the damage. Trying to find another black card for Soul Spike. And I think we pass back here. I think I would have discarded Soul Spike and played Delta. Well, I don't know where this Soul Spike is going at the moment. Like, I don't think I can afford to discard the Soul Spike when all I need is one black card to get it online. And they are at 10 life, so I'm throwing up the possibility of like just killing them. So I have to respond if I'm going to respond. If I Soul Spike the Felia here, Flage kills the frog. If I Soul Spike them, well, I'm responding. I'm just figuring out how I want to respond. I think I'm just supposed to kill the Felia here. But I guess they get back Flage. Or they bounce Riddler, get back Flage, kill Frog. That's kind of problematic. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Yep. I guess I could wait, turn off auto yield because I can discard both to the frog if they kill that, untap, play new Riddler. Or they do that. Okay. It's not a Flage. I'm supposed to just go ahead and kill the Teferi. I could march, pitch Bowmaster, just shoot that. I don't hate that because that's draw 2 on my next turn. Or discard Soul Spike, I guess. I can like cast that if I find some more black spells. We get to draw 2 on our draw step. Maybe find 2 black spells to pitch the Soul Spike. This. Wrath of Skies for 1 billion. Okay. Yes. Yes. That one. Too easy. Now, am I going? Go Dreams. Exile. Sure, Quantum Riddler. Have Bowmasters and then hardcast Soul Spike. No response. They don't even haste it up. All right. All right, that was sick. I mean, obviously we still got to win a second game, but at least that first one was pretty dope. The Necro guy did not have anything for the Jeskai Blink matchup as far as how to sideboard for this one. So I'm going to have to use some context clues. I kind of like Force of Despair. Ashiok's okay. Surgical's okay. I don't really want Dolthy because it just dies to the front half of a Flage. No. Consign. Do I not like? Push, I think, is a little bit on the weaker side. So I can see like push for a force. You board out a Soul Spike and a March. I guess I don't hate those. And a Surgical, bring in an Ashiok. Another pretty fair non-necro hand. No. Got the Ragioli. Yep. When I get a chance, am I able to respond to your question? I can. I don't think I've seen your question show up. No! No, they hit our Thoughtseize. It's kind of fine. Our hand's pretty redundant. All right, give me a second on answering because, like, I'm already down on clock a little bit, and I don't want to go too slow while I'm trying to also update Moxfield. But I see the question now. I considered playing good cards. Like Twin, you won one game. One game. You're gonna have to do more. You consider chaining your deck deeper into Esper Blink territory for value. Riddler plus Overlord to combat other value Blink decks like Jeskai. Do you think Esper Blink would have a favorable Jeskai matchup? I don't know if it would be a favorable Blink match or Jeskai Blink matchup. I'll take another land. So opponent did take a Bowmaster, so that kind of makes me want to hold up this other Bowmasters. And I think I'm going to respond to this so they can't consign my trigger. If they want to ephemerate the Ragavan, then that's perfectly okay. If they also have the Felia. Do. Okay. Definitely getting dicey. Is this Grixis? No, this is Patrick. Got him. Never saw it coming and never recover. No, it's just straight Dimir. Solitude, consign. Yikes. So the reason consign is so rough for me here is if I play out anything into this Felia, I risk them just blinking it out and Felia the consign trigger on the return. But I kind of feel it's worth it to force the issue. Like, maybe they don't. Maybe they save the consign because they want to hit something on their side instead of using it aggressively. All the line. Okay. Oh, we do get a consign out of hand. Do get another consign out of hand. Possibly. Consign, ephemerate. And it's got all the juice. What are we surveilling? Keep it on top. That's terrifying. Teferi. Ending my frog. Okay. Still an ephemerate. Have I considered drawing Necro yet? Only every day of my existence. I promise you, if I was good at drawing the cards that my deck's namesake was centered around, I would play a lot more unfair stuff in Modern. But I run into this issue where I don't draw the thing that I'm supposed to draw, like, ever. Like, you know how bad collected company decks are when you never draw collected company? Spoiler, pretty bad. Canister coming in with the raid. Thank you, thank you. Welcome everybody from Canister's stream. Hope you had an awesome one. What are we doing here? If I... Steven coming in with the gifted sub to Juggernaut. Welcome to the subscribers. So if I fetch, I'm dead to the Felia attack. I guess I can fetch, play the Riddler, and I've got Bowmaster as a blocker too. They don't currently have the mana to escape Flage. So yeah, I have to... The Riddler. Soul Spike. Soul Spike. Soul Spike. Alright, close. But for everybody coming through on the raid, if it's your first time here, my name is Michael, or Control Freak on Magic Online. Play a lot of Modern, especially a lot of Frog variants. So if you're a fan of Blue Black X Modern decks, this could be a good place for you. If you're a fan of Dying to Flages, also pretty good place for you. I don't think you should trim March against Blink. Let's see. I don't... Like, March, I'd have to give up 2 cards probably to answer a Quantum Riddler or to answer a Flage. Don't need Surgical. Feel like we don't have... I guess we do have Boggart Trawler, but like... This is that variance thing, right? Because I've got like... all of these answers to Flage and didn't see one. So... But if we want to try leaving the March in, we can. I don't know if I think this is right. Hey, look, a Necro. I'm going to keep this. Answers Ragavan, answers Felia. Forces mid. Force answers like Warped Solitude with Consign or Ephemerate, and I think that's kind of a big deal. Like, it's a much cleaner answer for that than March is. But obviously you have to have it in your hand already. Doesn't lose to Ephemerate. All right, opponent, show me the mystical dispute. I know you've got it. Don't slow roll me. I'm shocked. Last time I ever splashed blue in a deck. Turning on Mystical Dispute, SMH. Oh. Have you tried out the regular blue-black frog deck with Riddlers? Only like every single day on this stream. It's more shocking that we're not playing that deck at the moment. I don't want to wait until combat against the Ephemerate deck. Like, opponent just showed us last game that they're happy to get to Ephemerate, or happy to Ephemerate Felia. I don't want to give them the chance to freely do that. And I know Shieldred's an important card with Necro, but I'm a ways off of casting the Shieldred. And I think with the Soul Spike, I can refill my hand pretty aggressively. Come on, land. Come on, land. One time untapped mana source. They do have a pending. I just want to get rid of the Riddler here. Can we do the thing? Of course not. Of course not. That would make way too much sense. Okay. We get to do the thing. Swamp. Necro-Dominance. Yeah, we're drawing up to 8 here because we have Soul Spike. So we can use that to pitch that back down to 5. Drop to 7. Exile a... Currently don't have a threat. Thoughtseize Force. And it's going to get to pending our Necro here. But then we just get to like untap, play a Quantum Riddler or something. Yep. I think I'm gonna play this Boggart Trawler here. Makes a top deck Flage a lot worse. I can just hard cast Riddler next turn. It's really good in the face of a dashed Ragavan. Sure. We're going to see an ephemerated Flage. Right, so they do have a Solitude. I think I'm still just casting this Riddler here. Try to find another Necro. How's the deck? Well, we're currently in game 3 of round 1. So hard to really say anything useful yet. They've got another Surveil. Let's see what's up. They're gonna ephemerate. Why? Is this like just to waste time? Because you could have gotten a Surveil land and gotten closer to Flage and just like let me Thoughtseize that and lose the life. I mean, kind of prevents me from playing a creature. But like, now they leave it in exile and they don't even get closer to the Flage. I think I'm going to Soul Spike here instead of going for the Riddler. Push with the trigger on the stack. I don't want to waste my push when they've got Flage and a fetch for a Surveil right here. Like, I run the risk of them just being able to... All right, well, never mind. Magic is so easy. But I didn't want to give up my only answer at the moment to the Flage. But now when we go to our next upkeep, we can play out Bowmaster, push our own Riddler, draw 2. Need to get the game over with. Okay. Playing out another Riddler. Come on, give me something to force. Give me something to force. It's a Solitude. Belia. The Consign. Well, I said I wanted something to force. This is not really the one I wanted to see. I mean, okay, I think you just played yourself on this one. I don't believe this is quite the outcome you were wanting. I believe you just played yourself. And can't kill, but I do have a march. Whatever. I could have marched my own guy to gain some life, but I'm trying to save time here. One and 0. 1-0. All that work for one win. The event record while I'm thinking about it. And I need to update the sub challenge. Thanks to Steven. Okay. And I missed, what was the question earlier that I was supposed to respond to? Mino Maniacs, have you considered changing? So the question was about changing the Dimir list to be closer to Esper Blink, like adding in Overlord. And I think if you're like on Overlord, there's no reason not to be on Felia. And if you're going to go like that far down the rabbit hole of Overlord Felia, you might as well just be Esper Blink, right? But like our deck has the advantage of playing counter spells to make us better into the unfair matchups than Blink is. So it just kind of depends on like what you're trying to game for. If you're trying to game for Jeskai Blink, and you think going that route helps you out in that matchup, then by all means go for it. Solitude's obviously a house, but kind of the purpose of playing the fairer builds of Frog and Riddler, whatnot, with the counter magic is to be better into the storms and neoforms and amulets and blah 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 blah. I'd love to play first. Yeah. Reasonable. Turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Bowmasters. How's the day going so far? I cannot complain thus far. 1-0 in our Necro League, so that's got to count for something. Second land is fine. I guess there's a world where I could be going for Bowmaster this turn. I just want to like put something on the battlefield. And I know I'm supposed to save MDFCs if I can for potentially like fodder. Make them go ahead and use the mutagenic growth, get it out of hand. Yep. Psychic Frog. Are we supposed to Soul Spike here and warp the Riddler? Is that just better? Take a lot of pressure off. Hope they don't have another mutagenic growth. Main phase or main deck surgical extraction. That is a play you are allowed to make in the modern format. Well then. Free spell's too strong. Well, I don't know how particularly strong it is right here. Cool. The thing our opponent had access to. Edgar was running this at an event over the weekend. Guessing people are trying it. Trying like surgical in Prowess. Or trying Dimir, never see a Necro-Dominance. It's 100% what I'm naming this deck from now on. Aggressive Iteration. Do you find a Lava Dart? Find a Mishra's Bauble. Are they going to go bolt the Bowmaster, crack the Bauble? I'm just going to wait. Boggart Trawler. I feel like that's just worse than Bowmaster. This turn, I mean. And let's get the extra point in. No response. Just get to make like a chunky orc army token here. We can cast Quantum Riddler next turn. Blue black, no Necro Riddler. Necroless Dimir Riddler with Necro. Then put in quotations like allegedly. Corey Steel Cutter with a Lava Dart. So we start by attacking with the orc army. Or I guess we might as well attack with both, right? Because the Bowmaster's dead regardless. And there's the chance that they go for the dart on the army token to try to trade with the monk. If they have like a mutagenic. Kind of sucks. Yeah, cutting off Urge is nice, but at the same time, if they block the army token and I just get a Quantum Riddler down, they're going to have a really tough time attacking for 20 through that with 3 cards in hand. Well, if I troll now, they just respond with the dart. Like, trolling now or trolling in combat doesn't really change anything, except there's the chance that they dart my army token to try to block that and trade. But like, if they do that, if that's their plan, I would rather just have the Riddler down. So I think I want to attack first. Like, I really don't want to play another X1 blocker into a deck with lava darts. Like, I get that it stops Violent Urge, but so does just being 6 toughness on the battlefield. Plus, I get to draw 2 off this. And hey, look, we get to keep our 5/5 or 4/4 round. Preordain. That looks like not a slick shot show off. Like to shoot you in the face. Now I've got 2 lethal attackers. That does look like a slick shot show off, unfortunately. But no attack. Children's Edict does, or Dreams of Steel and Oil does not take them off Delirium. We can Necro. We could Trawler them and Necro and just try to find like a free spell. Or we could just Necro looking for like Fatal Pushes, March. Like half of our deck does it. Or we could Necro looking for a Soul Spike because they're at 4. I kind of don't hate that. Just like Bogger Trawler them. See if they do anything about this dart. We attack with our 2 lethal attackers here. Because both of these force chump blocks. I guess not chump block, but force blocks. And now we're free to pay 17 life. And all we need to find is a Soul Spike and another black card. $17. There's a Soul Spike. There's some black cards. I guess realistically we should have paid 16 to not be dead to a gut shot. You know, normal things. Probably not worth 17. Well, I guess we'd seen one Soul Spike already, but as soon as we like cut, or as soon as we make the attack with the Quantum Riddler, I think we're priced into looking for Soul Spike, just because there's always the chance that they get Delirium, kill us with, or no, they use their Violent Urge. Never mind. So we definitely didn't need to after Violent Urge got used. So I don't want Thought Seizes. We want EE. Quantum Riddler's a little slow. How's Dorothy in this matchup? I know the Necro guide said to bring Dorothy in against Prowess. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, force is fine. Go like this. This is pretty good. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Swamp go, hold up, march. They do something that puts Delirium online. We can respond with march. Well, that's like worst case scenario for keeping march online. Guess that means we're just taking one here. Shieldred. Quarry Steel Cutter. So if I respond to this, like if I respond with Bowmasters, I have the potential of stopping them from getting a Quarry Steel this turn, or trigger this turn if they respond back. If that's the plan, I think I would rather go for March instead of Bowmasters because, well, do I want them to respond or do I want them to have a dead card? Because if they've got a response, it's probably either Spell Pierce or Spell Snare. More than likely. Pierce hits March, Snare hits Bowmasters. They can flashback dart, but that takes instant out of the yard to try to resurveil. I'm going to go for Bowmasters. So now they don't get a Quarry Steel trigger this turn. They don't have Delirium, so I can still march the Channeler on my turn, or their turn somewhere. Necro-Dominance. Is that the play? I can Necro, Soul Spike, try to set up Shieldred next turn. That seems reasonable. So we just go ahead and force, or Soul Spike now and just draw up to 5? Is that better than waiting until their turn for some reason? No, it's just Force Spike now, draw up to 5. I mean, you're probably fine doing the Necro trigger first. I can go along with that. Now knowing our hits, it wouldn't have mattered, but like realistically, if I march or if I keep March, I'm not casting it this turn, and I'm not casting it next turn more than likely. So when would I be marching? For it to matter. Be like 3 turns from now. Alright, I want the Watery Grave down so I can cast Riddler next turn. And it's only losing me 1 more life here, so I think that's fine. Is there a number for how much I'm supposed to draw here? Just like... I've used a spike, so I know I can't kill here. They do have delirium. $12. Is there a reason for 12? Oh, because they have Lava Dart, I don't want to go to 1. I got you. So we've got Marches, we've got Soul Spike. That's a whole lot of non-black stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think it's kind of free to Soul Spike here. That way I can keep a Trawler, March, Trawler, EE, and a land. So discard, 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 discard. Wait, nope, nope, nope. Go back, go back. Keep. Discard Riddler. I just spiked token there. Yeah, could have been fine. I kind of like the idea of trying to find a way to present lethal, but maybe that's just too aggressive. Like I've got untap EE for 0, March, Swift Spear. I can kind of do it all, right? Like I can EE for 0, March, Swift Spear, and play Boggart Trawler and hold up activation. But it's tapped out again. So land, EE for 0. March. I guess I can cast Trawler. No, if I'm gonna Trawler, I need to March first. No. Might be better to just Trawler. Save March, just draw a few. Sorry if you already answered it, but did you have thoughts on my Esper blank against my Jeskai question? I'm pretty sure I answered that twice, actually. Give me a minute. I just draw like 5 and have a March. 6 and have a March. Or hit the soul spike. That works too. Like, I still have to win the game at some point, right? Because, like, drawing a bunch of cards is nice, but I still need to get them to 0. You've got a slick shot. What's the realistic damage potential on this thing? Save the EE. We need another Necro if they're not answering this one. Let me finish this match and I'll answer the Jeskai Esper question again if you're going to be around to hear the answer. We've got one soul spike left. I want to march this one. It's a little bit smaller. Overpay to try to get them to commit another spell if they've got one. That works. We cracking it? We are. Nice. So instep, bowman. Have a removal spell for the bowmaster. Bowmaster dead. Land. Go down to 14. Go ahead and get another water grave out of the deck. No attacks. Draw some pieces of cardboard. Okay, we've got a frog. We will take a frog. I think there may be an argument to drawing like at least 7. 7's a lot of cards. What's the argument there? Like, because I have March, but I don't really want to March one of those tokens. I'd rather like March something better. Now I think the hope is just frog, draw like a couple, and be able to force a despair their board on their turn. But I still think it's kind of like the issue of I don't really want to use March on just some random token. Like, I would rather save this before I drew the fatal pushes in the force. I would rather save this for like a slick shot or something that I don't currently have an answer to. Instead of just going like, oh, here's a random 3/3 prowess token at my end step. Hiya. You have got a preordain. So this will get the Corey Steels online, but I do still have Force of Despair and March and Frog. And it is going upstairs with the lightning bolt. So we're going to declare a block, try to see if they'll commit something else. Doesn't look like it. So just cast Force of Despair. Even if they have like a Spell Pierce for this, we can pay. If they have Flusterstorm, we can double Fatal Push. They did have the lightning bolt. An opponent is going out on their own terms. Godspeed, opponent. Respect. Get that, but 7 deep, finding an answer to Bowman is very likely we win this game one way or another, but it's just interesting. Necromath and all. Also, you seem to be one of the least aggressive drawers I've seen with Necro comparatively. I don't know how to feel about that. And it's pretty bad. This hand is also not great. It's better than the first hand. Like, I've got a Soul Spike for interaction. We could find Dingo GG's for sure. That was a sweet match. We could find Necro or Frog. It is worse. You did make me work. Dude, that match was stressful. Is there any reason my taskbar is just like chilling? Behavior, automatically hide. Weird. Little Boros Energis. Go for a Thoughtseize on one. I did hear some talk that Blood Moon is a very, very difficult deck for us, or difficult card for us to beat. By just taking Spyro, take Spyro, push Ocelot, Pride. Be a little upset that I don't have a something better to do. Upset that I don't have a bowmaster. Ripping to Johnny. Pretty good one. Not taking cat there. Well, I really didn't want them to like see a bunch more draws with Spyro. I feel like I've got enough spot removal to deal with cat, or I have a spot removal in hand. Guide doesn't do a whole lot without other threats. Then opponent did the rude thing and went and found themselves a voice of victory. Also, double Thraben charm into our Necro is kind of rough. All right, well. Opponent's doing the thing, the Boros thing of ripping dudes. Little unfortunate. Am in fact getting Boros. Not much we can do this game. But we were on a mold of 5. Gotta remember that. Alright, we'll just scoop it up. Into turn second Thraben charm. Where's our modal spell? We deserve a Thraben charm too. They probably don't know your Necro. Dude, based on my inability to see the card Necro-Dominance, I'm not convinced I'm Necro either. Oh, there's one. No lands. Gotta throw this back. Can't watch this, I'm sorry. Understandable. All right, keeping this. Doing what? Throwback. That second 6, or that 6 was a 1-lander, right? One lander with Spike and Riddler to recoup, but like only recoup if we hit the second land, which is definitely not free. I can tell you that from experience. Do you think they know we're Necro, or is this just like a hey, I've got a Vexing Bauble? A voice. They do have a goblin bombardment. We have a Necro-DOMINANT. Not looking great in the face of Vexing Bauble. All right, go to my end step, pay 3. We do find a March though. I'm not feeling too bad. Boros, I need you to stop drawing good stuff. Please. My brother in Christ. All right, so I can march the Ajani. And yes, I know I can do this into turn. I'm just thinking. I'd really like to hit my land drop, so I think that I play out the Fell as a land. Like if I go Bowmaster, shoot the Ocelot, they sack the bombardment, push the token, Bowmaster the Ocelot, tapped Fell the Profane, draw 4. I would need to hit 2. Well, I know I need to march a Johnny. It's just whether or not I want to like go to my instep and march and try to clean up the board, or if I need to take out like the Ocelot Pride that's going to go wide with the Goblin Bombardment. Because, like, I can kill the dudes on board and march if I draw some cards into turn and hit a couple black pieces. But, like, I would like Bowmaster on board to be able to do something about this dashed Ragavan. I can't have them keep an Ocelot Pride. So I think I go push here. They bombardment in response. Eventually. Yep. Skip land drop, draw 8. What good is drawing 8 doing me? But like, let's say I pay 8 and I go down to 2 and I find 2 more black cards and I march for 5. I go back up to 7. They've got 2 here. Dashed Ragavan is 4. Goblin Bombardment is 5, 6. Any other creature and I'm just dead. I don't like this. Draw like 4. What did I say about 2? So March is, I can Soul Spike, hold up Bowmasters. Soul Spike, get rid of March, Fell the Profane, have Shieldred next turn if they've got nothing. God, I forgot the Vexing Bauble. Yeah. I needed a bauble, or needed a Soul Spike, or March, whatever. Yep. So the way that we're living a turn. I don't think so with a Johnny. So if we Bowmasters shoot the Ragavan, they sack down to kill the Bowmaster. This enters, we're down to 4. They hit us for 2, we're dead. If this resolves, they hit us for 3 and then ping off the board. So yeah, we're just dead. All right, let's think about that one. Basically, push leads us down a hill where we need to draw another push. Okay, let's say we don't push the Ocelot Pride. And we draw... What was your line? Draw 8 cards and throw everything into the Ajani. Like, how many black cards are we hitting? Because we draw 4. Okay, so we drew 4... And we hit Soul Spike Shieldred as our 2 black cards. So now we've got... Oh, you're saying... Yeah, it won't let me see. We draw 8, go down to 2. We Soul Spike the Ajani. Let's say we hit 4 black cards. And we Soul Spike the Ajani for March. We've got Bowmaster, Soul Spike, Fell the Profane, Shieldred, 2 more black cards. We'd March the Ajani for 6. We go down to 2, we gain back up to 8. And then they've got Cat Token on board, Dash Ragavan hits us down to 4. Goblin Bombardment can potentially put us down to 2. Six cards is 12 life. I think I was thinking March was 1 life, not 2. They wouldn't have the Ajani right, but they would have the Cat Token already on board. They would hit us for 2 with the Dashed Ragavan, making it 4. With Goblin Bombardment, making that a potential 6 damage. They would still have the Ocelot Pride, so that's a potential 7. Plus the Goblin Bombardment is 8. Plus the token they make off the Pride is 9. Plus sacking that is 10. So they're potentially doing 10 damage to us for us ditching our hand to kill the Ajani. You'd be at 14 with 2 mana available. Could use it on push or Bowmaster. Or weren't we talking about paying everything into killing the Ajani? Bowmaster would deal with 2 creatures. Bowmaster only deals with 1 with Goblin Bombardment out. Because you cast the Bowmaster, you either have to target them to get the damage, in which case the first strike on the Ocelot Pride kills Bowmaster, or you take out the tokens and they just like sack and kill the Bowmaster and get to keep Ocelot Pride going, or you target a creature and they just sack that creature to kill the Bowmaster and you don't get a token. That was part of the reason for killing everything on my turn, so that I would Bowmaster or Fatal Push 1, Bowmaster target them, and then they can't sack a dude to kill my Bowmaster, and I've got 2 blockers for Cat Token and Dashed Ragavan. But no, the part I was getting lost at is I was thinking March was 1 for 1 life instead of 2 for 1 life. So I was thinking of going down to 2 and going back up to like 8 or 7 or something instead of going up to 12 or 14, which I don't know how much it changes the play, but it definitely makes it look a lot better to March. Either way, you had to march a Johnny and gain a bunch of life, then interact with them somehow, and you were good. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we marched the Ajani for a bunch, play the Bowmaster. We're still not good. Like, we still have a board of stuff that needs to be dealt with, and they have a Goblin Bombardment going. We're definitely not good, but... I'll keep this. And it's on a mulligan. think I'm just gonna get a Undercity here. That was the play there. Draw up to 3 life to dodge bombardment, then pitch everything except Shelly plus interaction. Slam Shelly the turn after. Well, we would have to go down 2 life for the Watery Grave to play Shelly. So again, not like super free. But again, like, I think the life change on the March really threw me off there. I'll take another land here. But I mean, I can definitely see where that line makes sense. Certainly appreciate the feedback. Whole Necro Discord came together here. All right. Am I just going for force? If I go to my turn in March, I can march for 6. They can't discard, but I give up more cards than just going for force. Yeah, I think we're just forcing here. Consigned to memory, 3 lands. Probably just hard cast the Trawler next turn, depending on what they do. No. I don't sideboard much at first, Jeskai, mostly bringing in Surgical to deal with Flage. Huh, hold up. Who was it in chat that said not to bring in Surgical versus Jeskai? It was bad. Let me find that. Where's that comment? It was you, hand up. Nah, we picking. All right. So I could march for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I bolt in Trawler, I can still march for 5 off of Bowmaster. I really want to get the frog off the board and play a land so that if I hit another fetch, I can hard cast Quantum Riddler next turn. So I think I'm going bolt in Trawler, march, pay 3, 4, 5 off the Bowmaster. They can't ditch enough to save the frog. We gain some life. And we just hit the land and all is good with the world. Need castle like Lochthwain. Lochthwain would be hot. Overlord off the top. Frog, or frog. Opponent wisely picks frog. Fetch land. Fetch land necro. Fetch land. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. We're doing it, gamers. All right. So I kind of want to make this 5 and just go for the value necro. I can definitely understand going for like 7 or 8 and just discarding the worst cards. I don't hate that. Six can be good. You heard it here first, folks. We do hit the Soul Spike and we hit Fatal Push. So we can just Soul Spike off of Thoughtseize, Boggart Trawler, because I know they only have 1 card in hand at the moment. And just be able to like untap and warp a Riddler. Is that better than discard? Yeah, I like that. I think just take the free Soul Spike because I'm going to have push for the frog and Riddler. Usually you'd go 10 there. What's the reasoning for 10? So I feel like I only want to go 10 if I've got a March target or like Soul Spike target or something. If I don't have a target, it seems a little sketchier. They played basic planes. Yep. Could have Ophelia. But like if I don't push, I don't get to warp Riddler for 2. That seems like a waste. And now I have Soul Spike, so I think I'm definitely drawing up to 8. Mana, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome afternoon. Appreciate you coming around and hanging out. Again to 10. All right, we'll try it. So draw 7. Now we are Soul Spike. Soul Spike, pitch, Dreams, Trawler. That way we still have a soul spike. We can save these 5 on the left, pitch land, have Shieldred next turn, potentially. So I guess if that's the case, we should have kept the Dreams of Steel and Oil to potentially check for the coast being clear for Shieldred if they had Solitude. Strict Serenade. All right. Soul Spike. Dreams Fed. This frog is probably fine. I'm just playing Shieldred next turn. Yeah, we know their last card is this Godless Shrine. So at the moment, we're presenting lethal with bird token, but I did the same thing I should have done last turn, where I should have kept the Dreams of Steel and Oil to just check for Solitude and get Shieldred down. Just so I knew the coast was clear on it. And just kind of made that same mistake twice. Keep Swamp over Riddler. Yeah, Swamp over Riddler's definitely a good call. I guess I kept waiting for them. Like, I didn't mind having the Riddler in the back pocket in case they found like a witch enchanter to blow up my Necro. I could have the ability to like use my stuff and refill again. All right, so Esper Blink. Really needs surgical. Push Force, fine. Seems like a good matchup for Dolthy because it kind of shuts down Overlord. I don't know if there's enough I want to cut. What's usually the cut against Esper? Like just trim a soul spike, trim. Like not bring in consigns. Force is kind of, I don't know if force is probably better than -1 push, -1 march, -2 4, or -1 push, march, 2 march a spike. I definitely want the Dothies in. I can kind of see force being a little bit better. We'll go like that. 3 seconds left. Painful mana, but we do have like land drops, hand disruption on 1, Dothy on 2. Riddler, Frog, Ephemerate. No second land at the moment. That's a choice. See if they get there. Kept on top, so. Unfortunate. Could go double hand disruption and take like Riddler Strict Serenade. We could jam Dothy here. But they do have Solitude. They pick up a Marsh Flats. I really want to take this Strict Serenade so that we can land Dothy next turn. Like if they want to give up Solitude and Ephemerate it to deal, or Solitude and Ephemerate to deal with it, so be it. Ephemerate is scary. No, I'm going to give this a shot. Solitude, White Pitch, Ephemerate destroys us. I don't know if I'd say it destroys us, because like we do still have Bowmaster that can get in front of it, and they got to give up 3 cards just to get the Dothy off the board. least at the moment, that's the breakdown. Okay. And it's got a solitude again. See what you get. Like a quantum Riddler. Fair. You go for solitude and response. No response. Solitude out of the yard. And we'll go ahead and Bowmaster now. Doesn't really matter if we wait. We're not attacking. Their last card is pending. Getting down a Shielder would be pretty dope. How does Necro feel? It's interesting. I read through the Necro guide before I decided to play this league to try to get an idea of like some general rule of thumbs. And I thought I had not like a grasp on everything, not even close, but like some general guidelines. And as soon as this league is started, every single time like a Necro decision has come up, I think there have been 17 different options between what I think I should do, what chat thinks I should do, what the guide says I should do, and what was actually the correct play. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. You're gonna hear that a lot from playing Necro. It depends. Yeah. Which I mean is nothing new because it's kind of the same way with Frog most of the time. The only thing that I like don't enjoy about the it depends conversations is the fact that typically they kind of tie into this idea of there is an objectively dang it. Do I just not Thoughtseize here because they have 2 cards in hand and I don't want to take them down to 1 for Riddler? But what I was going to say is we've had this discussion a lot when it's come to Dimir Frog lists of anytime somebody says like they're right, like this is the right answer. And obviously this is coming from a place of love. So don't think I'm out here absolutely firing shots off at the Necro community. But typically with the Frog community, when questions like this come up and somebody says they're right or they know the answer, the correct answer is nobody knows the right answer because nobody's out there like consistently posting top 8s with Frog. And I feel like Necro's kind of that same avenue of nobody's going out and like top 8ing all these tournaments with Necro. So anybody who says they're right, they know the best lines, doing X, Y, Z is just correct, probably isn't being honest with themselves. On the play, going to game 3. Soul Spike looks not great in this matchup. I don't know if you can afford to trim another Soul Spike, but like not killing Riddler, not killing Overlord, not killing Frog. Need more games before I start assuming. Also, listen, Mike, I would have sideboarded out the blue cards and I'm 100% correct. Well, I cannot argue with that. Keep. On the play with Necros and my opponent's mulliganing, like, can't do much better. Please don't Thoughtseize me. Sweet. Think this means I just want to Thoughtseize here. Not testing Wan Chi. The problem with like the early access testing is a lot of it is just people playing like whatever they felt like playing at that moment. There's not really good reps with anything because you're going to be playing like Wan Chi against a bunch of people just playing Teamer Lessons or whatever in Modern, and that could be fun. It's kind of cool for content, but I don't feel like those reps actually mean anything for you in the long term. So I kind of avoid them. Opponent top decks a Thoughtseize, stares down our 2 copies of Necro-Dominance because we are gamers. Opponent says, well, I wasn't answering a Necro-Dominance anyway. How about another one? All right, I think I'm gonna draw up to like 8. Am I just going with the triple discard? Like discard, Necro, fetch. That way I've got a backup Necro for the Witch Enchanter. I've got a land for Shieldred. Yeah, I like that. Necro, fetch. Hopefully opponent is nice and just plays Riddler Ephemerate here. Sweet. Instead of holding up Strict Serenade. Solitude could be a little dicey. Ha 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 ha. Totally got this down. Totally got this deck solved. Just please don't believe that. For all the Necro players, is Boros typically a good matchup or bad or 50-50 or what? Like, how bad should I feel for not knowing what to do that match and losing horribly? From Bokk. I'm probably locked on this for the coming RC next week. However, I would say this archetype requires a lot of reps to be efficient with it. Jeskai Blink and Blink variant is overall favored. They don't put enough pressure and we grind better. Blue-Green Ritual is favored for the same reason. Gorya's is favored with the discard plus Grave Hate post side with Dolphy and Surgical Extraction. It's even worse for them. For red-white energy, blue-red Prowess are decent. They're all the tools to beat them, but sometimes you stumble and they win. Affinity, I'm still unsure. Sometimes the deck is unbeatable. Sometimes they just lose to themselves. Titan's a decent matchup. Post side gets easier. Brood Scale is decent. The Emrakul Plane is the most dangerous. Eldrazi, Tron can be tough as Emrakul's big counter for the deck. Zoo is a very tough. Leyline, Draco negates almost every removal in the deck. They have cheap interaction, Pressure Storm. All makes sense. Let's roll with it. We're on the play. We got a Surveil game 1. We've got good interaction for most unfair stuff. I really want to see how good like the fair plan is for this deck. Just because again, I know my luck, and my luck is not luck that involves seeing Necro-Dominance very often. So knowing what the backup plan is like is good. Oh god. Opponent typed good luck, have fun in all caps. So the mantra on this channel is if my opponent says good luck, have fun, they are playing a deck that neither wants me to have good luck nor does it want me to have fun. So Tron, Amulet, Neoform, something like that. We'll see if it stands true. Arid Mesa, so could be Storm, could be Boros. I wouldn't mind seeing Boros on the draw with no 1-drop. Could be Jeskai. It's Burn. Is Burn just like a buy for this deck? Do you just like see the Burn player and say, I'm so sorry? Jeskai Blink. Okay. Blue-white Blink. At this point, if someone's on Burn, they had it coming. There's a local Burn player to me that definitely plays a lot. Played Necro with Shoal once and played against Burn. Spiked them. They responded with the can't gain life Burn spell. I Shoaled for 15. That's so good. They skull cracked me. I responded with gain 15. Okay, now here's a question. I know that I'm gonna force and kill off this Quantum Riddler because I don't want it sticking around. Are you going for the, like, just jam the Shieldred, make you have the answer? Or are you slow rolling the Shieldred here? Slow rolling the Shieldred it is. Good talk. I'm glad both sides came to that tough decision point. Glad we really had to think about that one and weigh all of our options. 1, 2, so I've got 10. I'm gonna discard 5. I can Soul Spike. Or I could just discard like everything on the... I think I want a Soul Spike. Definitely pitching the frog, so I'm not playing it next turn. Yeah, I like pitch. And just discard Quantum Riddler here, because I don't need it. I've got backup Necro with double hand disruption. Hasty Flage. And me without a march. I could Dreams for free to check for a Solitude. And still play out Shieldred. Children can stand in front of the stand in front of the flage. I get to draw 3, gain 6, go up to 10. It's a solitude prior to draw. We draw 8. So we just draw 7. So we draw 7 instead of 3. Ah. They also activate push. Yeah, but at the moment we don't have a push. We need the push to use the push. Sorry, best I can do is 7 more Thoughtseize. So they get to attack in, hit me. I block, they shoot me down. If they have a land, they escape Flade, shoot me down to 1. We need them to not have an untapped red source. Damn it. Okay. We dead. True Necro players would consider not blocking. I have much to learn, Sensei. Alright, so when I played this match earlier, I brought in Surgical Force and Ashiok. Surgical and Ashiok for Flage and Force for Warped Riddler plus like, what's it called? Ephemerate or Consign. Is that what I want to do this time? Yeah, push is a little mid, especially when we're on the play. Basically, we either pitch Necro or March. Yeah, I think we're just supposed to pitch the Necro against Jeskai and pitch like the March against Esper. Would be my guess. I think I'm going to trim a Spike for a... no, that hits to Fairy. Poured out Riddlers, they've not been great. I mean, they haven't been that bad. They're not great if you have a Necro dominance. But like all things, you don't always not have the Necro-Dominance. Alright, I'm going for Dreams on 1 in case they have Ragavan. One children. Ah, ah, ah. Two children. Ah, ah, ah. Alright, so I didn't know about that one. They did surveil something to the top, though. Could be a Felia. Heyo. Now, they have a consigned memory that we know about. I kind of feel like I just want to jam Necro and make them use it, though. Worst case scenario would be like a Force of Negation. But I guess they could have like Consign and Untap pending, but then I still get Shieldred. Tef would be unfortunate, but at the same time, like, if they Tef, they're not doing anything scarier. And, like, we still have... I would assume they'd, like, Tef and not bounce the Necro. We can still Shieldred and... I don't know. It doesn't seem like that horrible for us. Can March hit walkers? March can indeed hit walkers. Is there an argument for Dreams here and just like draw a few off Necro? Play Boggart Trawler out as a land? Because I know I get to exile a Flage one way or the other. If they have another Consign, that's fine. Add the Solitude. So am I just taking the Solitude? Or they're going to have hard cast Subtlety next turn. Could just go ahead and exile the Flage. Huh. Well then. We can surgical extraction their arid mesas if we want. Though I'm sure just surgicling the solitude or the consigns is better. Yeah, I think we just hit the consigns. They only have 2 consigns in? Why do you only have 2 consigns in? Isn't that like your namesake card here? Anything crazy? Galvanic discharge, force, wear, tear. If you want to subtlety this, you do. This kind of feels like a waste of a subtlety. Just like you tell me that's the best target for you to subtlety. Need to hit a removal spell. Okay. Let us march. For 6, 7, 8, 9. Arena of Glory. All right. Do the thing. No response. Go up to 6. I'd say 8. Okay. We can go ahead and march this. Ditch frog, ditch. I think I'm just ditching the frog. Save the bowmaster for force now that they have arena. I don't want them to have like a hasty flage here. What are the odds they hit another Solitude? Need more lands. Hi, bro. What's up? They do find the Flage. Makes me glad that I held on to this this Force of Despair. So we'll let them actually just go ahead and do this now. Get rid of this other Necro. Shieldred. All three. Just pass. Soul Spike up. Like Necro Light lot. Cool to see a Dimir list with Necro. Yeah, the deck is definitely interesting. Takes some getting used to. Probably supposed to flash in Bowmaster there. Deck of Solitude. Like a Felia. Alright, so play out the frog this time so that we can discard a bunch of extra draws to the frog. I can just draw 6 here. Because even if they have like a lightning bolt, I can respond with Soul Spike. And now I guess we're not supposed to go for the double Soul Spike here, or are we? Probably like no. Flash in Bowmasters. Do 1 now. It's probably fine. It's just like my concern is if I was gonna do one, I should have saved the yeah, this was all kinds of bad. Force negation's my concern. And that allows Riddler or Flage here potentially. I shouldn't have played the Bowmasters if I was gonna go for the spike. Oh, you're right. They do die to the Shelly trigger. I forgot Shelly triggers. Not gonna lie. And they can't have a consign because we exiled all their consigns. We surgicaled their consigns. Slow rolled them with triple lethal. They're playing Jeskai Blink. They deserve to get slow rolled once in a while. All right, we've got to aggressively click through buttons. Keep. Ravioli. Oh boy. Why do we get decisions right off the bat? I can Soul Spike off Surgical Dreams. I could Dreams, see what they got, then decide on Soul Spike. Which is probably fine. Frog's not too great in this matchup. All right. Boop. So Thoughtseize here into Undercity. Next turn, Watery Grave, Warp Riddler, draw 2. Sure. Guess I can do that next turn. Give him a chance to draw Solitude. Belia. Okay. Show me a Solitude. Second Felia. Ragavan. I want to play out the land. I'm just going to play the tap Trawler. Definitely worse if they top deck a Flage, but better if they don't and I can just cast Riddler next turn. Plus attack with Frog. Opponent says no to our desire to hit them in the face. Draw Strict Serenade. Okay. We'll just attack and get the Ephemerate out of hand. They can block, I discard, they Ephemerate, and then they can attack back and like blink out the bird token, but Ephemerate's gone. So trading Felia for the bird. They draw a Consign for the trigger. Okay. We did the thing, right? All right, because opponent has got a blind draw here, I think it's better to play out the Shieldred. It's worse into exactly Solitude, but I feel like it's better into everything else. And it puts them on just like a 2-turn clock. They get draw trigger on Shieldred here, and then draw trigger on Shieldred next turn. So if they don't draw an answer for it, like right now, they die. Force a negation, so you die to the Shieldred trigger. But you know what? I will give you this to force. I guess they could hit a Consign and then die to me attacking them. Oh man, 4-1 with the first Necro League of 2025, or Necro League of my life. Okay. Sweet deck. What did we think? What did we think? We beat Jeskai Blink twice. That's kind of hot. The Boros game was definitely winnable. I need to read my cards better. What did we think of the deck in general? Dreams was really good. Thoughtseize was fine. Force of Despair. I didn't I guess I did get a couple Force of Despair moments. We got to like force a Riddler in response to a consign. And we forced something else. So we forced a Flage. I'm not going to be upset with Force. Soul Spike was cool. Bowmasters was fine. Frog was fine. Quantum Riddler was like really, really, really good against the Blink matchups. March was good. Necro is such a cool card and such a headache to try to figure out. Shield are great. Trawler, good. Fell. The sideboard is where I've got a lot of questions. For example, it seems like Dolthy is the go-to out of the sideboard for the Necro decks. Maybe it's just me. I feel like there's got to be something better than Dolthy. I don't know why there's only 3 consigns instead of 4. I don't know if Eldrazi is just like a good matchup, or like with Necro, you always see the consign over the next couple turns. So I'm not really going to question that one too much. Force out of the board was fine. Surgical was fine. Damping Sphere was fine. EE was good. I guess my concerns out of the board are just like, none of the cards I'm bringing in really feel like they're just lights out in any matchup. So I'm not really sure how to sideboard a lot of the times. It feels like I'm trying to take out a C+ card to make room for like a C++ card. Like I'm taking out a March of Wretched Sorrow. Not that it's a bad card, just like in that matchup, whatever the matchup is, not great. So like taking out a pretty bad card and then bringing in something that's like, like it kind of does something. So I guess for me, the next time I play Necro, I'd kind of like to adjust the sideboard a little bit to play cards that I'm familiar with, just to do a side-by-side comparison. But obviously, choices are made based on what you're actually having problems with, or what kind of cards are good in a way that you're not normally interacting with some of these matchups. And so I'd have to get some more reps in. But overall, really cool to play Necro. I approve of it. I think the deck was sweet. Excited for the next time we play it.